Hey, it's been a while since I uploaded anything. I've been a little busy, but figure I'd go ahead and I was about to do another video, and I figure I'll do this one real quick. Pickup game with voice chat on Cockatrice, just to try to get a game in real quick. This guy Necronomicon played, so I'm playing my uh, Gogari Lantern list. Um, let's see. So they're playing the Grixis Persist deck, and I'm, Gari Lantern. This was a very, very iffy keep. I wasn't convinced on it, but it's like, was whatever. I'll figure it out. I figure I have a lot of top decks here, and I do have a bridge. Um, and if they're really fast, then Meat Hook might clear the board for me. Honestly, this is a very, very risky keep, and it probably wasn't worth it. But um, anyways, let's see. Opponent fetches immediately when goes for a thought seize, sees my hand of crap, and gets rid of my bridge. And I draw land. Okay, that's going really fast. Next, they go to Thought Scour, trying to hit their second land, and they don't hit it. Um, so let me slow this down. There we go. Okay, so I go to look. I top deck a Torpor Orb, so I go to look, and I figure, well, I might as well play it, you know. Uh, so opponent untaps, still doesn't draw a land. Thought seizes again. They already know my hand for the most part. They didn't see me draw the second swamp, but they get the Meat Hook Massacre. So now I have a land of hands. Drawing the trophy's good here. I considered trophying their land and hoping that might mess up their mana. But I figure that chances are they're going to draw land and the rest of their hand is probably decent. I was worried it might be Emperor or Frog, and sure enough, they did have Emperor. Okay, so then untap, my turn. I top deck a Needle, which is perfect timing for that Emperor. Granted, I could have probably just trophied the Emperor and been fine. Um, but yeah, the Needle is, happens to be better. So I go ahead and play the Needle, naming the Emperor. I figure I'm just going to keep taking two until I can do something better. Mm, yeah, so naming Emperor Bones with the Needle. They go to untap. They can't cast the looting, so they just go to attack with Emperor. Oh yeah, they did exile my ensnaring bridge with their Emperor trigger. I figure I'll just take the Emperor. Then I top deck a bridge. And I figured that at this point, didn't counter the Needle, so they probably don't have a counter. And I figure at this point it's probably safe to play a bridge. Um, and the thing about their deck is they have few, if any, answers to bridge. Um, so here, my one of the benefits I think of playing on Cockatrice is we can undo mistakes on like MTGO if somebody misclicks or makes a mistake or whatever. They can't take it back. So my opponent here, they forget they can attack. We talk it through, and I'm like, no, 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 please take it back. Like I'm trying to get like optimized play here. I get it. Um, so I top deck a Thoughtseize just to try to give me some information. I figured the rest of their hand has got to be pretty good, and I figured they had the Persists and Archons or something. They didn't have the Frog though to discard the Archon. So I go for the Thoughtseize. I see the looting. I really don't want them to have looting. The rest of this crap, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Oculus is actually good for me because it means that they're going to be milling themselves during my upkeep. Archon doesn't matter because Bridge and Torpor Orb stops it. Persist don't matter. So it's only the looting that I got to worry about. We do also like go back on the life totals here as well. So I don't know if you've been keeping track of that. Um, and I think about it for a little bit because my plan here is I take the looting, but then I don't want them to be able to looting if they have an answer to bridge. So I figure I'll go ahead and trophy their Thundering Falls. I figure they probably don't run a basic mountain because if somebody's going to be playing Blood Moon, that's going to be a mountain anyways. So I figure they probably don't run a basic mountain. It's been a while since I've played, so I don't actually have their deck memorized. And they also scried to the top. I don't know what they scried to the top or surveilled to the top. I don't know what they surveilled to the top, and I figure I don't want them to get whatever that is. So they're kind of given a choice. If they don't search, then they're just down the land and they can't cast anything. Um, and they can't cast the looting. If they do search, they probably don't have a mountain, so they still probably can't cast the looting. And sure enough, they don't have a mountain. They do draw a delta here, though. Um, yeah, I have to remind them that there's a bridge in play. Can't do that. Um, so going for Oculus, and I'm okay with that because that means that they're going to mill themselves a card every turn. That's going to be better for me. I think so. What I think they're trying to do is they do probably have an answer to bridge, but it probably bounces the bridge, in which case they need to put lethal on the board so when they bounce the bridge, they can one-shot me. And because if they just looting now and get to it, then they still don't have lethal. Um, so yeah, I don't know what this is. Draw a Pixis. And I want to say at this point they were just like, yeah, you know what? I've scoop. Because I think maybe they thought about it and they were like, you know what? I don't really have an answer to bridge, especially drawing it by the time I kill them. So we go to game two. Game two, I side in 3 surgicals, 3 extirpates, and I want to say I sided in something else too. I don't remember. Um, oh, excuse me. Sided out Torpor Orb. Well, I run Relic main. Um, but anyways, I look at this hand. This is great. And I kept all my discard too. I run 9 discard spells, 4 Inquisitions, 4 Thoughtseize, 1 Duress. Um, so I figure I'm probably pretty good here. Uh, they're on the play. And they keep. That's a pretty good hand. So draw one of my 6 surgical effects. Go for my turn 1 Thoughtseize. If that were a surgical, that'd be great. But oh well. And I think I get the spell. Oh no, they cast the spell pierce. They cast the spell pierce. That way I can't see their hand. It's probably also good because if this were a surgical, then I could, discard something important and wreck it. Um, draws the looting. He fetches to, I want to say he casts Frog here. Yeah. So my plan here is I play the Relic. I'm going to take the damage from Frog anyways. I also play the Saga so I can start getting a blocker if I need to. Um, I mean, it's not going to happen yet, but I cast the relic here, so I'm also threatening to blow up his graveyard if he tries that route. Um, so if he doesn't go for it here, then I can just slowly eat at his graveyard. If he does go for it, then I can either pop the relic or play extirpate, whichever I think is more convenient for me. So he does not draw a third land. Yeah, looting. Doesn't draw a third land. And I'm worried at this point that they have a counter for my bridge. Um, but because they did not play a third land and they didn't keep a blue untapped, that tells me that they probably don't have a counter for bridge. I take the psychic frog damage, they draw a card. Did he forget? Yeah, he did. My opponent forgot to his psychic frog trigger. Oh yeah, I popped the relic at the end of my opponent's turn. Wait, yeah, at the end of my opponent's turn to try to draw um, another discard spell or something. Um, so I can make sure the path is clear for bridge. And this is where I'm like really tanking on do I play bridge here? I'm pretty sure they don't have a way to counter it with one black because you know there's force and negation, but they play a lot of spells that are just black or just red. So that means they probably don't have force and negation, and even if they do, they may not have the extra blue card. Even though you know they do have thought scour, but it ends up being the case. But they don't have force, so bridge lands and we're good. So let's see, they would have drawn an Oculus here from the Psychic Frog. They hit me with Frog. This time they discard Archon. Oh my god, he forgot two Psychic Frog triggers. He goes to Persist Archon. Um, I think yeah, I let that happen. I mean, I can't extirpate anyways, but it doesn't matter. I just, you know, they can draw an extra card. It's fine from the Archon. And then I'll just discard my extra Shredder and I'm still okay. And then at this point, I see my opponent stuck on two lands. Um, and I figure their removal is probably Meltdown. So I'm thinking about it and I'm like, well, if I just keep him on two lands, he'll never be able to melt down my bridge. Um, Now this does risk the chance that he has Meltdown in hand. Uh, so yeah, Archon on top. Yeah, play the Pixis with my floating mana from the Saga. Play Shredder. I want to say I play Overgrown Tomb tapped. Now Psychic Frog actually has a +1/+1 counter on it, so that means when I play the Overgrown Tomb, that Psychic Frog is not going to be attacking. So worst case here is my opponent does have the Meltdown in hand. So if we would look back on it, if they did have the meltdown in hand, it would have probably been smarter to extirpate, like persist or something, just to see, to verify, and then play my cards accordingly. So yeah, I think they're trying to figure what to do. So I pick this, um, just because I don't want the verdant catacombs, and I don't really want them to have the unearth because it cycles to draw instant speed. And then I'm going to mill that polluted delta because I don't want them to have the third land. And at this point, now because they haven't cast Meltdown, I figure they probably don't have Meltdown. But that's really the only thing I can think of that they would have that would get them out of this. Um, so I figure if they have anything, it's got to be something that costs more than two that gets rid of Bridge. Um, so I figure I'll play the second Bridge because I really don't want Psychic Frog to attack. I'm just going to let them draw that Abhorrent Oculus. Opponent Thought Scours themselves. So there is a slight chance that they could draw land here. So they mill the Oculus, mill the Raucous Theater, they draw Consign. Consign's fine, I'm good. They do have a Swamp on top, I'm going to mill that. I don't want them to have that third land. Then I let them draw the Thoughtseize. It doesn't matter. I figure I'm going to let them draw the Thoughtseize since it doesn't matter, and if they Thoughtseize me, then I just, extirpate a land or something, probably a Verdant Catacombs. Or sorry, Polluted Delta rather. Extirpate a Polluted Delta to reduce the number of lands they have in their deck, so it's easier to keep them off of lands. Yeah, I think here they didn't cast a Thoughtseize. I don't know. Like they could have Thoughtseize me. I don't think it matters. They could have Thoughtseize himself to get ready for a persist or something at some point, but it doesn't matter. Um, I'm still playing into the pot like that they don't have meltdown, so I play the extra Pixis just so I can try to keep them off of land some more, I guess. My opponent sees the surgical on top as well, and I'm actually like saying out loud like your only answer is probably meltdown, and I'm saying I'm gonna keep him off of lands, and this is where he's like, yeah, yeah, that's game. So yeah, that's it. Forgot two frog triggers on his side, but I mean it didn't matter. Okay, let's see where is